Today we're diving into one of the most influential books on church leadership, but it's also one of the oldest, the Book of Pastoral Care by Gregory the Great. This collection of pastoral leadership principles is from 590 AD. It's been shaping Christian leadership ever since. Even though it's over 1,400 years old, it continues to provide essential lessons for pastoral work. I'd like to share 3 key insights from Gregory's work and unpack how they still apply to pastoral care in the local church in our modern time. The first key insight from Gregory's work is that not everyone is fit for leadership. From Book 1, chapters 1 through 3. He warns that some people step into leadership for the wrong reasons. They lean toward personal ambition instead of a true calling. Church leadership isn't about power or status. It's about spiritual maturity and responsibility. He puts it this way: no one presumes to teach an art till he has first, with intent meditation, learned it. What rashness is it, then, for the unskillful to assume pastoral authority, since the government of souls is the art of arts? That's a pretty strong statement, isn't it? He's saying that no one should take on pastoral leadership without first being equipped. A modern example, we wouldn't let someone who's never studied medicine perform surgery on patients. Likewise, we shouldn't let someone lead a church if they haven't been spiritually trained and tested. Gregory's work on this issue points us to 3 outcomes for application to be implemented in a local church. First, church leaders, including pastors, elders, ministry leaders, etc., should be chosen based on spiritual maturity, not personal ambition. Second, churches must carefully discern before appointing leaders. Third, before stepping into leadership, pastors should self-examine their motives. Leadership in the church is a serious responsibility, and it's something we should approach with humility and prayer. The second key insight taken from Gregory's work is that pastors must adapt their teaching to different people. Taken from Book 3, chapters 1 through 4. Not everyone is at the same place in their faith journey, and good leaders should recognize that. Gregory writes, "For the things that profit some often hurt others, seeing that also, for the most part, herbs, which nourish some animals, are fatal to others. And the gentle hissing that quiets horses incites whelps. And the medicine which abates one disease aggravates another. And the bread which invigorates the life of the strong kills little children." That's a vivid picture, isn't it? Or pictures. What works for one person might not work for another. A new believer needs different teaching than someone who's been following Jesus for years. Someone struggling with sin may need correction, while another needs encouragement. Jumping to our application to the local church, consider these 3 outcomes. First, pastors and church leaders should adjust their teaching styles based on who they're talking to. Youth need a different approach than adults. New believers need different teaching than seasoned Christians. Second, discipleship and counseling should be personal. Some people need encouragement, some need accountability, and some need deeper teaching. Third, a good teacher knows how to balance encouragement and correction. This reminds us that pastoring isn't about a one-size-fits-all message. We need to meet people where they are and help them grow from that point. Our third and final insight from Gregory's work is that a leader must guard against pride and self-exaltation, taken from Book 4. This is a warning, and note that first part again. Leaders must guard against pride. Even a successful pastor can fall into the trap of thinking too highly of himself. The moment we start admiring our own wisdom or accomplishments, we're in trouble. Gregory writes, "But since often, when preaching is abundantly poured forth in fitting ways, the mind of the speaker is elevated in itself by a hidden delight in self-display. Great care is needed that he may gnaw himself with the laceration of fear, lest he who recalls the diseases of others to health by remedies should himself swell through neglect of his own health, lest in helping others he desert himself, lest in lifting up others he fall." Gregory is saying that pastors can preach great sermons, help a lot of people, and still lose themselves to pride. That is a real danger. And here's how this insight can be used as application for the local church. Here are the outcomes. First, church leaders need to regularly check their hearts. Are we leading for God's glory or our own? Second, Pastors should have accountability partners to keep them grounded. And third, leaders should stay aware of their weaknesses, not just their successes. This will keep them reliant on God's grace. Remember that pride is sneaky. The moment we think we're beyond falling into it, we're already headed to danger. Staying humble before God is the key to long-term, faithful pastoral leadership. These, of course, were only 3 of the many valuable insights found in Gregory the Great's Book of Pastoral Prayer. There is far more to be found, so search out this work and start unpacking it for yourself. To close this session, let me sum up today's insights one last time. Insight number 1, not everyone is fit for leadership. Leaders need to be called and equipped by God. Insight number 2, pastors must adapt their teaching. People are at different places spiritually, and they need to meet them where they're at. And insight number 3, a leader must guard against pride. Humility is essential to lasting leadership. These principles still hold up today, 1,400 years later. And so let's live them out. We'll see stronger churches, healthier leadership, and a deeper reliance on God.